In this video, we're going to discuss changing the product display names for estimates and invoices. We're going to talk about product names versus display names, where we would go to change them, identifying the options on estimates and invoices for determining which name is going to actually print, the product or the display name, and finally we'll talk about under what circumstances we would want to change them. To change our display names in Control, we're going to go into the Setup, Pricing Setup, and then select our products. It's going to look a little bit like this in Control. Setup, Pricing Setup. Over on the left under Major Components, we will select Product Setup, and finally let's select a product. I'm going to go into Digital Prints and select my Roll Sign Print. Upon editing the screen, the first thing I see is that my product name is Roll Sign Print. My product code will always equal my product name, Roll Sign Print. The category is Digital Prints, and the display name at the moment is Roll Sign Print. By default, the display name will always be the product code. Now, why would you want to change your display name? The product names or codes are locked in Control and they cannot be changed. However, in your shop you may refer to certain products using different terminology than what Control uses. By changing the display name on your product, this will permit you to display your product name in a way that you or your customers may be more familiar with. And finally, let's remember that the option must be set on the estimate and invoices and report criteria menus for them to show correctly. Okay, so back in Control, and for the sake of this example, let's assume that your shop does not use the terminology Roll Sign Print. Instead, you refer to all Roll Sign Prints as banner prints. What we're going to do is we're going to change the display name now from Roll Sign Print to banner print. Now, depending on whether we are printing out an estimate or an invoice menu, the option to use display name for product is in two separate locations on each one. If we're printing an estimate, the option is the first option in the left column, use display name for product. If we're printing an invoice, that same option has moved to the bottom of the left hand column. And as an example of what we've just covered, I've pulled up here estimate number 505, which contains a roll sign print. I'm going to print the estimate. When my menu comes up, I'm going to make sure that this is unchecked. I'm going to uncheck use display name for product, and I'm going to preview it. As we look, our product name here on our invoice is Roll Sign Print. Now, by the same token, I'm going to come back into my setup for the report criteria menu, and I am going to check off the use display name for product and preview that estimate again. And now that we see that our product name is Banner Prints, which was the display name that we changed our Roll Sign Print to. And that does conclude this video, and I hope you found it helpful.